Today I would like to share a thought with you about learning and conditioning, or learning or conditioning. By definition, conditioning is a form of learning where a given stimulus or signal gets more and more effective in evoking a certain behavior or reaction to something. So you can say that you have a stimulus-reaction pattern established. So that's like the definition of conditioning. Learning is the intentional or incidental acquisition of skills or competences, or end. So if we look at life and how things function and how our brain works, are we permanently learning or are we permanently being conditioned? I can't say that clearly because sometimes I think it's very close to each other. So for example, I have the tendency to get static very quickly when I move. So sometimes when I get out of my car and I close the door, I get a little electric hit. So I learned by now that especially when it's sunny, I get out of my car and I'm gonna like test and adapt my behavior to not be surprised by this electric tingling. Is that now a learned behavior? Is it conditioning? Is it adaptation to stimuli? I don't know. I can't distinguish that clearly. But what is important when we think of our horses now? Sometimes when you have an undesired behavior or your horse is doing something where you're thinking like, why is that happening? Why is my horse reacting like that? And especially it's repetitive, this undesired behavior. Then it makes sense to really observe all environmental cues and all cues which could be involved, all stimuli which could play a role in the behavior of the horse at that moment. Because it could be that just by changing environmental cues, you can interrupt that behavioral pattern. Because the stimuli reaction pattern, which is installed, is just happening because of stimuli. So if you get aware of all the stimuli, most probably that's not possible, but of the stimuli which are leading to that behavior, you can find a way to interrupt the chains of undesired behavior patterns.